Lawrence Chong, consultor at the Vatican Dicastery in interreligious dialogue. He was appointed by Pope Francis in 2020. Lawrence Chong, thank you so much for joining us here on BBC News on what is a very special but solemn day. You met Pope Francis. What was that like? What impact did it have on you?
Thank you, Martin, for having me here. First and foremost, it was a very strong effect on myself personally because he is such a person that wants to be close to every single person. So that first encounter with him and the subsequent ones were always the same. It's like speaking with a father you never knew you had. And he was always very open. In fact, the first encounter I had with him, I asked the Holy Father, uh, Pope Francis, may I hug you? And he said, yes, why not? And it's that kind of going out to reach out to people, that kind of force of encounter, is what personifies the whole spirit and papacy of Pope Francis.
How different was he in private compared with the public Pope that we saw?
Well, he didn't really have a very different personality, I would say. I think in private, he expressed very strong convictions on the importance of dialogue. He was always urging us to go out, but to be very concrete, he was a very action-oriented pope. You have to remember that this is a pope that has not taken a holiday, very unlike previous popes, and he worked till the end, literally, before he passed away. And so in private, he was always convinced the crises of our world, whether it's due to climate change or the breakdown in politics, or in terms of the need to build greater dialogue across civilizations with other religion, he was very consistent. So you don't hear two versions of Pope Francis. You have the Pope Francis in private and you have the Pope Francis in public. And I think that's why the media department of the Vatican had quite a bit of an issue with him.
How did he change interfaith relationships?
I would say that the big difference Pope Francis brought to interfaith within the Catholic Church and to the world was he implemented a methodical approach. If you looked at the historic document that he co-wrote with the Grand Imam of El-Azhar, and it was unthinkable that such a document can be written. If you remember the centuries of conflict Christianity had with Islam, and that document of human fraternity was a landmark document. And he paved the way for another document when Pope Francis came to Jakarta, to the Islam Mosque. And this methodology of having common frameworks with another religion on the common and shared commitment towards human fraternity, using the force of religion to drive world peace, has never been attempted before. The other thing I would say is Pope Francis made himself very much available on, when there is a need to engage with leaders of various religion. I remember when he was in Thailand, the patriarch of the grand patriarch of the Buddhist faith, it said that he usually doesn't step out of his temple to welcome another leader, but he did that for Pope Francis because he felt that Pope Francis is a religious leader of encounter. And I would say the third impact that Pope Francis had for interreligious dialogue is he upgraded the institutional policy of the Catholic Church in his documents of Fratelli Tutti, because you must remember that the Catholic Church first had its policy for interreligious dialogue in the 1960s. And we can say that Pope Francis has updated the commitment, the institutional mission of the Catholic Church for dialogue in his one of his encyclical Fratelli Tutti. And then that is a very big deal for the Catholic Church and for subsequent leaders of the Church.
Lawrence, we're really grateful to you for talking to us today. I'm sure you will enjoy the service with sadness. Lawrence Chung, consultant at the Vatican Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue, many thanks.
Thank you, Maxine.